Today, this car is insanity. This Bugatti is worth $20 million. And you're like, what on earth? It's just like a Chiron, Veyron, Mabob. No, this car is based upon a classic Bugatti. Now, if we go into the bundle, there are actually 2 new Bugattis added to the crew too today. All you got to do is go over to the Elite bundle and look at these magnificent machines. Now, this car is a $20 million one-off car based upon this car right here. We're going to talk a little bit more about the Bugatti 57 SC Atlantic in the next video on this Bugatti-filled day. But first things first, let's jump into this 20 million they've given us for a bargain price. Just gonna pay the 2 million for it. Don't mind if I do. Got the bundle, and I am now poor. But I am poor for good reason, and it's very easy to make money in this game. So let's continue. Here it is, our first look at it. Now, very clearly, it is very much based upon the current Bugattis, the Veyron, the Chiron, every other Bugatti that exists. It's the same shape, but it's the modern Bugatti look based upon the classic Bugatti feel. I've never really been a Bugatti big fan, but this just tickles my pickle in no way else that I could describe other than being bloody brilliant. Right, let's give it a go. This Bugatti looks beautiful. Come on, give me a sound. Okay. It sounds like a Bugatti. It sounds pretty meaty. Now, look at this brake light here. That looks incredible. I love the look of this thing. Let's go. That's a Christmas tree. I'm getting a Christmas tree, mate. All right. We're going to go for a little drive. Oh. Look at that wing. We got a little bit of slippage there. Oh, it's a brake as well. Look at the Christmas tree. That's actually amazing. I want to get that Christmas tree. I'm going to buy that Christmas tree. Make sure I mute my mic. I don't know if anyone can hear me, but I'm going to sound like a moron. Oh, we got some slippage in the Bugatti there. You know what? I like that. Every car recently has felt very, very, very grippy. This thing, it's got some slip to it. It's got some slip to it. I don't know if people are going to appreciate that in terms of the handling, because every car's been super grippy recently, and the Bugatti, which is an all-wheel drive car, at least I think this one is. Every other Bugatti is, so I'm sure it is. It feels tremendous. Tremendous. Now, of course, my question is always going to be, no matter how good the backstory is and how beautiful the classic this car is, I want to know, can we make this thing look even more ridiculous? Can we put a big old stanky wang on it? Can we Of course, I'm not expecting customization to be on this car just for that special reason that it's a classic. It's not it's made to be a classic, right? It's a one-off. It's a thank you. It's a I miss you, which again we will talk about. So I guess we'll jump to the house and we're gonna see, can we do something dirty, stanky, and make this thing horrendous? And by horrendous, I mean horrendously crazy with the big wang and I don't think so. Look how long it is. It's really long. Like, even for a Bugatti, it's long. This could be a 4-seater. I didn't check if it's a 4-seater, but it genuinely could be. All right, let's go into customization. Yeah. Wait, no color, no livery at all. No liveries. But there's visual parts. What kind of... This is the weirdest customization for a car ever. Now, the problem with black is it hides all the details. You would be able to see so many nice lines and curves if we could customize the colors, but we cannot, which is a bit of a shame. But we can do visual parts. We can do wheels. Right. That's how this is gonna be. Well, I mean, we could put some nasty wheels on it, make it look horrendously spiced. Nah, I'm going to keep the standard color. We can change the color of the brakes. Let's do a little bit of color. There you go. That's all we can do. And of course, vanity items. We can put vanity items on it. We can put bloody bright green wheels on it, but we can't change the color of the car. That must have been a term upon Bugatti, right? Surely. I think I'm probably going to go for... Oh, that's a nice little accent there. The green accent. I think... The French tires? Nah. We'll put the blue wheels on it just because we can, and then we can call it a customization video. We're going to put the multicolored nitrous on it. We can put some underglow on it as well, which genuinely, I think that looks pretty good. I was going to say for the light blue, but I think this blue makes a little bit more sense. We could put blue windows on it, a slight blue window tint. I think a slight blue window tint looks pretty sweet. And we got horns and police lights. So we could put a Christmas tree on the top of my Bugatti. But I don't know if I want to do that. Now, last thing to do, we're going to do the performance of this thing. Make it maxed out 320 everything. Please tell me I got a 320 part on there. We do. I need to do more races, unlock more parts, because I've got basically too many 320 cars to the point of where now all my 320 parts are now gone. Horrendous. I feel kind of bad doing this, but we're going to go to Far and Beyond and get that bloody Christmas tree. I really want it. It's free. I would highly recommend popping that Christmas tree on any vehicle you could possibly find. We've also got a red tint, which is pretty sweet. Blue. We've got Santa Cruz smoke and a few other little bits on there as well. We've got the green nitro. I was actually talking about green underglow, so great. And we got the snowman, I was going to say flake. Snowman smoke, in case you do want that as well. Okay, let's jump into some PvP. That's not PvP. PvP this way. I want to do some PvP. It is like one of the best ways to figure out if a car's any good. So let's jump into this. I gotta hope, I gotta pray that these guys choose Bugatti hypercar race. Otherwise, I'm gonna be here a while and we're just gonna do a street race. And we just discussed how beautiful this car looks in here with the blue underglow. I think I did a pretty good job. Where's hypercar? Okay, it's trying to make me do street races only, so we're gonna jump into this race I haven't actually done yet. And I've realized something pretty significant about the name of this vehicle. It's the Noire, not Noire. No, it's black, all right? Right? It's black. So this is why we can't actually customize the color of this thing. They don't want us to change the black. That makes sense. It's a shame we can't really experience what this machine is going to be like in PvP, at least for now. All the Americans aren't awake yet, so maybe a little bit later when the Americans are awake yet, we'll get to experience it again in PvP. Now, as I said, it does have a little bit of slip on it, but of course we haven't driven it properly upgraded yet. Okay, it's interesting. So it has a little bit of slip still, a little bit more than most other cars we've driven so far recently, but now that we've upgraded it, this thing is grippy. It's got a little bit of slippy, but you can see I'm overcompensating for the fact that it did have more. It's got a little bit more understeer now, which makes sense considering the fact it's a bloody all-wheel drive big boatman machine. It's a bit ridiculous. Anyway, this car is a fantastic addition. I love the partnership they've got with Bugatti. It makes sense. They're a French studio, and of course, they managed to get the French cars on lockdown. I'm swaying. Calm down. You already know there's going to be people that are going to modify the handling of this. The community on this game, they jump straight to modifying the cars to make them absolutely perfect. And I love that you could do that in this game. The tuning on this game is really interesting because it's not like normal car tuning. It's almost tuning the handling of the game itself, which is it's interesting. It's like some games do that. The Crew's always had those options, whereas in obviously the games like Forza, they try and pretend to be more realistic, but you already know the options are almost completely opposite to what it is in Gran Turismo, and even Gran Turismo is a little bit like, really? In some cases. I say a little bit less so. But anyway, what do I think about this car overall? You know, I am not a huge Bugatti fan, but I do love the look of them. They look fantastic. Everything but the Veyron. The Veyron, I don't know, it hasn't aged greatly, and I think we're going to say the same about the Chiron and stuff in the future. I think, of course. But we're coming to a world now where we're not really going to have these petrol/diesel powered motor cars as part of our world anymore. And I think it's interesting because, of course, thank you for the motor coins, this brand is obviously owned by Volkswagen, right? So Volkswagen, my God, from what I've heard, Volkswagen and a few other European brands are trying to get rid of their performance brands per se, because they feel like the electric motor car won't be as exciting to sell. It'll be harder to sell to people that would buy those performance cars. Now, Bugatti, I feel like, could be different. I feel like Porsche has to be petrol, whereas this, you could get away with an electric Bugatti. I don't think people would genuinely care. The budget is just insanely ridiculous, crazy. But at the same time, do those people that spend millions of pounds on a car really care what they're buying? Do they care about the 0 to 60 or anything like that? No. They know the badge. They still probably think that Bugatti is the fastest car in the world. And therefore, that's enough for them. For it to sit in their collection and then drive it home, and that's the only time it will be driven. But that's the point. This car specifically, that's the point. They know this is a one-off $20 million version of the game, and we got it for less than $2 million in this game. Ivory Tower, bloody bargain of the century. Anyway, we've completed that event there. That's one of the newer events that I haven't actually completed, and I think the last hypercar event, 30,000 for completing that. That's so much money. That's not easy. Anyone that complains that it's difficult to get money in this game is an absolute baboon. Watch my guide. I have a guide. All right, let me know what you think of this Bugatti. I'll be back later today, so be sure to smash like, subscribe if you are new, and I'll see you in the next video. Until next time, peace.